efficiency and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
Hi, I'm Hunter Bell from Bell Chevrolet. Football season in Arkansas is one of my favorite times of the year. And I think we can all agree that game days are better with tailgating. Fourth quarters are better with game-winning field goals. And the best played games are better with teamwork. And just like on the field, Bell Chevrolet is better because of our people and their dedication to our customers. Shop Bell Chevrolet and bellchevrolet.com today. Together, let's drive.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Whatever you're doing this weekend, if it doesn't involve fast horses, daily doubles, high fives, and corned beef sandwiches, you may be doing it wrong. Every weekend through May 3rd, Oaklawn has live thoroughbred racing. Whether your Oaklawn is cheering from the home stretch, dining in the Bugler restaurant, or raising a glass at the First Turn bar, your race day is whatever you want it to be. Make reservations today at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile. Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
Welcome into Out of Bounds. What's going on? Wes Moore, Joe Franklin with you as I'm changing hats, Joe, right now as we speak, taking off the play-by-play hat and get to the sports radio talk hat. And what a afternoon it's been. I mean, we got so much going on with the state championship game. By the way, congratulations to Coach Kramer, Justin Kramer, and Conway Christian. We had him on the show earlier this week. They win the state title 18-8 over East Poinsett County. Got Oaklawn going on, races happening right now. And it looks like there are Razorbacks racing to get out of Fayetteville. Luke has reportedly into the portal. Josh Braun reportedly into the portal. What in the world is going on? That is, I got to tell you, Fernando Carmona in his Pin and Pull podcast, Joe, said that with the core that's coming back, he felt like Arkansas had something to prove and you're going to see a different team in 2025. Well, we are going to see a different team in 2025 because it's going to be so many different players.
We kind of wondered about that yesterday, like what is the core going to look like? And you have to wonder, is it money that's drawing these players elsewhere? Some of them, every situation is different. It's not all the same there. But we see with Luke he's somebody that's gotten playing time, but maybe not gotten the touches that he's wanted. So is he disappointed with the touches? Is it someone has more to offer him somewhere else? What's the case for maybe, I guess, the majority of these players? Or is it just they're unhappy with what's happening there?
Yeah, I wish, we had an opportunity, and I hope at some point we get to hear from them. But so many times when a guy leaves, we never hear another word of exactly what the issue was, why they wanted to leave. Was it, they were just unhappy with the offense, the number of touches? Were they unhappy with their NIL money? Or were they just, period? Sometimes guys just want to leave and go get a fresh start, go somewhere else. That's the unfortunate thing about the NIL. Who knows if we'll ever know the true story. But, with Josh Braun, a 2-year starter there at right guard, and there was a chance for him to come back, and it sounded like he wanted to come back. And now all of a sudden, if this report is true, he's going to enter the portal on Monday. with Haz, I thought, he's married, has a wife there at school, his brother plays on the team. I honestly thought that he was going to stay at Fayette, so I'm a little surprised, even though it wasn't the season we all anticipated with Haz and Bobby Petrino's offense and the way he uses the tight ends. I thought Haz was going to have a huge year, but it just didn't turn out that way. And so you got to wonder, is he looking for an offense where he's a better fit? Once again, we just don't know.
That's what it would seem like for him, because it's not about playing time. It's about getting the touches and getting back to how he looked during his freshman season. And now we know we saw it in limited action, but he's somebody that was a matchup problem with defenders. You have to kind of match the right defender on him. And who is the right defender? Is it a linebacker? Is it a safety? It's not necessarily a cornerback because he's too big for them. And so he's a guy that is a matchup problem in the pass game. And then what he brings to the table as a blocking tight end, what he could do there. Tight ends have to do multiple things, but I'm sure with him, he wants to be more involved in that pass game because he knows what he can do and what he brings to the table.
Well, coming up, we're going to have Brian Edwards at the top of the next hour. He's got some picks for us, and he also wants to talk about Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell is fighting this weekend, a big favorite, by the way. Bet Saracen already has some odds out on Bryce Mitchell, and there are different little things that you can bet on, like to go to the distance or win in a certain round or a knockout in a certain round or a submission. So we'll talk to him about Bryce Mitchell and some of his picks for the weekend.
And we'll get to it. We'll get to it right now.
All right, that was a quick start.
America's #1 home builder now has new homes available in Central Arkansas. From their first home in 1978 to over 1 million homes in 2023, their mission remains the same: deliver quality and affordability across the country. Since 2002, more people have chosen D.R. Horton than any other home builder. They have homes for every stage of your life. Brand new homes with multiple floor plan options. See available homes at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's home builder. D.R. Horton is an equal housing builder.
Morning Mayhem is heading to Arkansas Urology on Bowman Tuesday. We'll announce the Beard Bracket Challenge. Plus, Roger gets his annual exam. You won't want to miss it. Morning Mayhem Tuesday at Arkansas Urology on 103.7 The Buzz.
We're the original social media you don't need a smart device for, but we'll also meet you there too. 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
State lawmakers are preparing for the 2025 legislative session, and maternal health is one focus. Lawmakers on both sides have been pushing for Medicaid reimbursements up to a year postpartum. Democrats are looking to ensure there are enough OBGYNs and nurses, and that they're being paid enough to stay here in Arkansas. They also want to propose a child tax credit and expand access to child care and paid maternity leave. Republicans have the same idea. They want to emphasize presumptive eligibility for prenatal care and make sure there are reimbursements for telehealth for ultrasounds. Both parties are also looking to expand the scope of midwives in Arkansas. Oak Lawn opens for the racing season today. Gates open at 11. General admission is free. Tomorrow it'll be corned beef day at the track. You can get 2 sandwiches and a drink for just $1. The racing season runs through May 3rd. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort presents Oaklawn Race Day with Justin Acree and David Wanjanati every Saturday morning at 11. Oaklawn Race Day is your inside track to America's hottest thoroughbred action and Arkansas' source for racing news and analysis. Oaklawn Race Day, presented by Oaklawn, Arkansas's only racing casino resort.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
It's going to be sunny but cold today here in central Arkansas. Little Rock will have a high of only 46 degrees. Tonight, a partly cloudy sky, not as cold. Will only drop down to 32 tonight. I'm meteorologist Pat Walker for the Buzz Radio Network.
Edwards Food Giant presents Razorback Baseball color analyst and Drop Time Sports co-host Rick Schaefer every Tuesday morning on Morning Mayhem. Rick will share his special take on Razorback sports with the guys each week. Edwards Food Giant, the meat people, the only stop you'll ever have to make for your family's groceries.
Hey Arkansas, Montana with Hubbard Power Sports in Russellville. We're your Arkansas Can-Am and Sea-Doo dealer. Are you looking for your next adventure? On the road, on the water, or in the trails? We've got the ride for you. At Hubbard Power Sports, Can-Am, and Sea-Doo of Russellville, we are proud to say we offer the best customer service around. We've won multiple awards for our level of excellence in many different categories, but our customer service is the one we're the most proud of. Come and see us Monday through Saturday or give us a call. See our current inventory, apply for financing, and value your trade at our website, hubbardpowersports.com.
Honda of North Little Rock is under new ownership. You owe it to yourself to come see the newly remodeled showroom, as it's overflowing with new and used inventory of Honda and Yamaha ATVs and motorcycles. Don't miss out on the great deals. Meet the new owners and GM Al Hanmaker. That's Honda of North Little Rock, 4524 MacArthur Drive.
You know, every year people make a New Year's resolution, and it's always about losing weight, spending more time in the gym. But if you're somebody that has chronic joint pain, you might want to think about making this New Year's resolution, and that's to call QC Kinetics. Hey everybody, it's RJ. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. Their unique protocols use healing agents from your own body to target those aching joints, repairing and restoring damaged tissue the natural way. I know former athletes around Central Arkansas, and heck, even my own neighbors, that are using QC Kinetics right now, and they talk about how it has changed their life. The New Year's right around the corner, and if you've got joint pain, you need to see the folks over at QC Kinetics today. The best part about QC Kinetics, there's no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Appointments are available as early as next week. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440.
Not sure how much you know about Progressive Insurance. You may know us for insuring your home and auto. You may know a couple of our commercials. But what you may not know is that since 2013, Progressive has been honoring veterans with vehicle donations through the annual Keys to Progress Veteran Vehicle Giveaway Program, giving back to those who gave so much. Now, you probably didn't wake up today saying, I really wish I knew more about Progressive Insurance, but this seemed like the type of thing people wouldn't mind hearing about. Find out more about how we're dedicated to our customers and communities at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart is your one-stop shop for the entire family. Go to maxpw.com and sign up for their newsletters and text alerts and be the first to be informed on all the biggest sales, best deals, and the newest products Max has to offer. Don't miss out on these savings and the largest selection of top brand outdoor hunting gear, such as Sitka, Branded, Drake, and Lacrosse going on right now. Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart is way more than just a waterfowl store. Go to maxpw.com and register for their newsletters and view all the pre-Christmas sales savings. The hunt begins here.
Injured? There's only one number you need to know. 888-8888.
At Rainwater Holton Sexton, no case is too big and no insurance company too strong.
Just dial 888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz.
Welcome into Out of Bounds. Wes Moore, Joe Franklin on this Friday. A brief, short version of Out of Bounds. Just got through doing the 2A state championship game on the Buzz, where Conway Christian, congratulations to the Eagles, and Justin Kramer, they win the 2A state title 18-8 over East Poinsett County. It was a great game, Joe. East Poinsett County scores early in the fourth quarter to take an 8-6 lead. It had been 6-0. Conway Christian scored at the end of the first quarter, and it stayed 6-0 until the fourth quarter when EPC gets the touchdown, 2-point conversion. They take an 8-6 lead, but like a true champion, Conway Christian responds. Brady DeMacus, a big 42-yard touchdown run to take the lead, 12-8. They added a touchdown a little bit later, and they win it 18-8. The first of two games at War Memorial Stadium coming up tonight at 6:30. We have the 5A state championship game, Parkview and Farmington. Parkview looking for back-to-back state titles, and you can hear that game right here on the Buzz. Coming up this hour, we're going to make some picks. Joe and I will make our picks. We are going to hear from Brian Edwards. He has his picks. Brian was red hot last weekend. He won our listeners quite a few bucks if they chose to follow along and make some of his plays. Joe, do we have Brian yet?
He's on. He's good to go.
Well, let's do it. Let's go straight to Brian Edwards, Vegas B. Edwards on Twitter, VegasInsider.com. What's up, Brian? How are you?
Doing great, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Man, this is an exciting weekend, championship weekend. Have all these conference championships going on. You got the NFL, and, of course, we even got Bryce Mitchell fighting. So let's get right to it. Let's start with the SEC. Georgia and Texas. Georgia thumped Texas back in Austin not too long ago. But, man, since that game, I think Texas has improved, and I don't think Georgia's improved. In fact, Georgia may be worse. What do you think about this game?
Well, I made Georgia a 3-point favorite. I think the wrong team's favored. I think it's a somewhat home game in Atlanta where Georgia rarely loses as long as they're not playing Alabama. Georgia's won 3 in a row and 7 of 8. Now, a lot of those wins not very impressive, but they do have a 31-17 win over 7th-ranked Tennessee. They've got the 30-15 win at second-ranked Texas, and they've got the 34-3 win over 17th-ranked Clemson, whereas Texas doesn't have any wins over teams that are currently in the CFP top 25. And another thing about Georgia winning at Texas, let's not forget that Carson Beck was horrible that night. He only threw for 175 yards, and he threw 3 interceptions. But in the last 3 games, he's turned what was a nightmare season. He's turned it around. Last 3 games, 11 touchdown passes without an interception. Now, I know they were in a long war with Georgia Tech, but, they do have 1 extra day of rest, having that game, been last, Friday, whereas Texas played, late in Saturday night. So in a somewhat home game, in a familiar venue where they smashed Clemson, with Carson Beck playing better, I got to go with Georgia. If you can get +3, great. If not, maybe +2.5, or maybe get a little +1. If you can get +125 on the money line, I like that as well. So kind of mix and match however you want to do it, but Georgia's the side in my opinion.
Big Ten Championship, Penn State, Oregon. What do you like here, Brian?
I like Oregon, and, as I look at the line here, 3.5 at most spots. If you can buy the half point to 3 at a price of -130 or cheaper, I'd do that. If it's more expensive than that, maybe don't worry about it. Oregon has won 9 of their 12 games by double-digit margin, 11 of 12 by at least 3. The one outlier being the 1-point win over Ohio State. I think we've got the quarterback advantage with Dylan Gabriel. 3,275 passing yards, 24-6 TDI&T ratio, 7 rushing touchdowns. And in a big, big game, if you're on the opposite side of James Franklin, that's usually a good position to be in. I like the Ducks.
All right, Brian Edwards with us on Out of Bounds. Let's move to the SMU Clemson matchup for the ACC title. I watched a lot of that Clemson-South Carolina game, and it was a fun game. And I guess I was a little impressed with Clemson, the way they played in that game. What do you think about SMU?
So I think now I want to stress that this is a smaller opinion. I'm on Oregon and Georgia for a lot more units amount-wise, if you will. But I am on SMU. They've won 9 in a row, 9-0 since moving to Jennings at quarterback, 7-2 against the spread in those games. 7 of the 9 wins during this winning streak have been by double-digit margins, including the last 4. Now, I'm sure somebody and rightfully, to point out that the schedules hasn't been that tough, and that's a fair point. But I just think they're playing really well, and Clemson's coming off that 60-minute battle, whereas SMU coasted to victory over Cal last week. And, I imagine not only did that 17-14 loss to South Carolina take its toll on them physically, but also mentally, in that they were winning most of the game and then end up losing. Now, they probably had a mental bounce back finding out, a few hours later that they are actually, going to be able to go to the ACC and everything's still available for them to win the CFP as well. So a smaller opinion, but I'm going to go with the Mustangs.
MAC Championship, Ohio, Miami, Ohio. Always a fun game. It's at Ford Field in Detroit, where we saw a great game last night.
I like Miami of Ohio here to Ohio. The Redhawks have won 7 in a row, 6 by double-digit margins, including a 30-20 win over Ohio, tomorrow's opponent. But that game was not nearly as close as the final 30-20 score indicated. The Redhawks led 16-0 at half, 30-6 going into the fourth quarter. The Bobcats got a touchdown with 5:58 left, and then with 6 seconds left, they got another touchdown to make the score look more respectable. But that was really a beatdown from Miami of Ohio. I'm not saying they're going to beat them down tomorrow, but we only need them to win by a field goal. So let's go Miami of Ohio -2.5.
Let's go to the NFL. Your favorite pick this weekend in the NFL looks like it's at Arizona-Seattle, the NFC West battle.
Yeah, so Arizona's won 3 in a row at home. They beat the Chargers 17-15. They smashed the Bears 29-9, and they smashed the Jets 31-6. They also have a 41-10 home win over the Rams. Their 2 losses at home. One was a close game with Detroit, the best team in the NFL in my opinion, and then they also lost to Washington when the Commanders were red hot. So they're in revenge mode here and bounce back mode. They lost 16-6 at Seattle 2 weeks ago, but the Seahawks had a 69-yard pick six in that game. And the Cardinals had a 298 to 285 edge in total yards in that game. And then last week, they were actually winning or tied at Minnesota for 58 minutes and 47 seconds of that game. They went 1 for 6 on touchdowns in red zone opportunities. They had to settle for field goals of 23, 24, 31, and 32 yards, and they missed the field goal. So Arizona had no business losing last week, and they're in desperation mode here. They're a game back of Seattle, but if they lose this one, they're basically 3 games back because Seattle will be 2 ahead and own the head-to-head tiebreaker. So urgency doesn't always translate to success, but I feel really good we'll get A-plus effort out of Arizona.
UFC 310, we have a welterweight matchup of 2 undefeated fighters, Shavkat Rakhmonov and Ian Machado Gary.
Yeah, I like Shavkat to win inside the distance. It's a 5-round fight. He's won all 18 of his fights by finish inside the distance. So inside the distance is DraftKings is -135. So I'm putting 1.5 units on that. And then I'm going to put a half unit on Shavkat to win by submission, which, as I'm looking for it here, 1 second. Looks like to win by submission, plus 190 is the price that FanDuel and Bet Rivers. And he's finished his last 3 fights by submission and 5 of his last 6 by submission.
Got Brian Edwards with us, VegasInsider.com. B. Edwards, Vegas B. Edwards on Twitter. Hey, Bryce Mitchell fights this weekend, and Arkansas loves Bryce. And Bet Saracen, who we work with, they have a lot of different specials on Bryce Mitchell and the fight. He's a huge favorite in this game, in this match. What do you see happening so that there's a lot of value if you think it goes like split decision, or Bryce wins in the first round, or Bryce wins by split or more majority decision? What do you see happening in this fight?
Bryce probably wins the decision. You know, he's fighting Kron Gracie of the Gracie clan. They're the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world. Now, Kron's not one of the better Gracies, but he's lost back-to-back fights by decision. He's 5-2 in his MMA career. Most of his career has been jiu-jitsu, not MMA. But he won his first UFC fight, but now he's lost 2 in a row. The the reward isn't that great for Bryce to win by decision. But, as long as it's not more expensive than minus 200, if I were to bet it, that's what I would bet. I mean, Bryce can submit anybody, but it's hard to submit a Gracie. So plus 500 to win by submission. If you take a chance, I wouldn't risk much on that. I think it's more likely Bryce wins by decision, and that's what I think will happen. I see it's minus 170 at FanDuel. That's the best price I'm seeing.
Awesome. Brian, we appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, all. Y'all have a great weekend as well.
Brian Edwards with us on Out of Bounds. Westmore and Joe Franklin with you. And, Joe, I tell you what, it's going to be a great weekend when you think about the fight going on. You got Arkansas UTSA. You got all these championship games going on. You got state championship games tonight and then 2 tomorrow, and then the NFL on Sunday and Monday. There's some really good NFL games. It's going to be a great Friday. Oh, and by the way, Oakline is running right now too. And tomorrow's going to be a big day at Oakline. I know they have a big 2-year-old race coming up here in about an hour or so, 2 hours or so. It is a weekend full of sports.
Yeah, it's always cool when whenever the horses get back racing and everything gets started there, and we really get into the season for some horse racing to go along with all the other sports that we have going on. And championship games tomorrow, college football and conference championships, that's going to be an exciting time. And then we'll see how CFP comes together and the bowl games. So this is a good time of year for colleges, exciting for them to see where they're going to play their next game if they are playing postseason.
How about last night in the NFL game? What a game. And it went exactly like we were hoping. It goes over, and we get Green Bay plus 3.5. Detroit wins by 3. It's winner on over in Green Bay. I thought that was just about as entertaining of a game you're going to get, especially considering a Thursday night game. Now, granted, both these teams played last Thursday, so they had a full week to prepare, unlike sometimes on these Thursday night games where it's a short week for the teams. But last night, man, that's about as good as you can get for an exciting football game.
What's trending in sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
Well, here's what it sounded like as Lions get a 3-point win over Packers last night. And it came down to the end.
Backs up, throws, touchdown to Gibbs. Play fake to the end zone, caught, touchdown. Tim Patrick again. Ball game. And what a game.
Jake Bates hits the game winner as Lions go on to win that game. And Tim Patrick is somebody that maybe kind of slept on as far as one of those free agent receivers that signed, and the Lions have a lot of talent at receiver. He's somebody that you don't think about a lot of times, but he scores a couple of touchdowns last night after being away from football in the past couple of years. He's back on the field and making his presence known. And the crowd, the fans, they were really excited about Jared Goff last night, and they let you know after the game.
Goff came back strong. He had a bad interception there in the third quarter. The Lions looked like they were in control at the half. Then Green Bay comes out, touchdown. Goff throws an interception. They get a touchdown, get back in control of the game. And then, the other story of the game I thought were the fourth down attempts by Detroit. I think they ended up, 3 of 4 or 4 for 5, but they had a costly fourth down conversion that they didn't get. And that turned into some Green Bay points, almost like a gift score for Green Bay. But when it counted, Detroit got the key fourth down conversions to win the game.
And that's the one that everybody is kind of puzzled on, and that's how you keep the defense on their heels, because when you get into that situation, a lot of times everyone, including the defensive players, everyone watching on TV, they're thinking there's no way they're going to run a play here.
Yeah.
They're just going to try to draw the defense offside. And Lions, the way that they play these fourth downs and how aggressive they are, you have to be aware at all times that there's a chance that they're leaning more towards going for it as opposed to just, running the clock down, kicking a field goal there, and then taking their chances. And they just stay really aggressive. Jared Goff said that Dan Campbell told him he wanted to lean on the offense, and that's what they did.
Well, I thought there was a point, and even the announcer, I think it was Herb Street, was like, certainly they're just trying to draw them off sides here, right? They got to. That's what they're doing, drawing them off sides. And both of them, as soon as they snapped the ball, were like, whoa, they're going for it. They're running a play. Hey, it paid off. It worked once again, and they get the first down, run the time down. That way their defense doesn't have to worry about anything, and they kick the field goal, walk out of there with the victory, and gutsy win by the Lions. Defense depleted. I mean, they had two guys playing that were on the street earlier this week, and they're playing huge snaps for them. They made some mistakes, but the Lions defense did just enough to help them win. But the offense, they lean on that offense, like you said, and they get it done. Did you think there was one controversial play, I thought, when Green Bay had the touchdown taken off for the offensive pass interference? I thought that was a ticky-tack penalty they called on Christian. I thought he did a good job of running his route and just kind of colliding with the defensive back.
Yeah, that's such a touchy call. That's almost like a block charge foul if you call it or if you don't call it or which way do you actually call it. Offensive pass interference, sometimes it is blatant where you know that there's a call there. And then at other times it's a questionable call, and it's more about the crew that's calling the game. How do they go about calling those and what their preference is? Now, the league has said that they want to put a preference on making sure you're taking those pick plays out of the game, but we see that certain teams at certain times of a game, they get away with it where other teams don't get away with it. So it's something that the league needs to clean up as a whole and make it more consistent, but it's a judgment call.
Yeah. And maybe I think it was Herb Street that said that you're going to see it was almost like a blindside hit is what he called it. That was obvious, and they showed the replay, and I'm like, that wasn't a blindside hit, and that wasn't obvious. That seemed like, to me, if you're coaching a pick play, that's how you coach it. That you're running your route, and basically your shoulders hit, and look, the defensive guy knocked the offensive guy off of it just as much. Knocked him off his route. So,
and here's one thing that they're taught to call it a certain way. If the defensive player is the one who engages and makes contact with the offensive player, then it shouldn't be offensive pass interference, even if at that point the offensive player just runs through the defensive player. If the defensive player makes contact first, then it goes out the window there.
And that was almost, to me, in my opinion, it was just two guys running in opposite directions and their shoulders hit. And it wasn't like either one of them meant to hit each other, although we know the offense was trying to. I thought they did a good job of that. Anyway, not a big deal. Well, I guess it is a big deal. If that penalty stands, who knows, or if it doesn't get called, who knows how the game turns out, because that would have been, by the way, the fourth touchdown of the game for Josh Jacobs. What a game by him.
We thought that he would have a good game. Going into it, we thought Josh Jacobs, Packers would kind of lean on that run because of Lions being beat up on defense and the way that looked. But we also talked about the fact that even though they're missing key pieces there, other guys are wanting to take advantage of those opportunities and make the most of it. And then what's encouraging for Lions is that a lot of these guys that they're missing on defense, they're back on track to at some point come back and return this season. They're not out for the entire season except for Aiden Hutchinson, but a lot of the other injuries they have, those guys are on track to come back. Now, Jared Goff, after the game, did mention how Dan Campbell wanted to lean on the offense. And so here's Jared Goff, followed by Dan Campbell speaking to the players after the game.
Circumstances around it, I think, yeah, it's a division game, it's at home, it's prime time. Told us early in the week he was going to lean on the offense, kind of challenge the offense really early in the week, challenge myself, challenge, the guys on the offense, like, hey, it's your turn to hold your weight and carry the load and make this thing happen and make this thing go. And for me, that's like the greatest feeling ever. You're like, all right, let's F and go and let's make this thing happen. And ultimately we got the win and we played pretty well on offense.
I'm so freaking proud of you, man. That's the way to show up. You talk about pressure, we live in pressure. That's where we freaking thrive. You did it again. All right? It doesn't matter who's playing for us. It doesn't matter what's going on. You always find a way to win. This has been in the making, man. This has been in the making. All right? We were all supposed to be here together, man. We're destined for this. Just stay the course.
Lions hold on to that number 1 seed in NFC. They expand their record, and they still only have 1 loss.
They needed that. You look at their remaining schedule, they got some tough games, and they got Philadelphia right on their heels, Minnesota right on their heels. But to me, if this ensures that at worst they're either going to be the 2 seed if Philadelphia passes them or the 5 seed, because now with owning the tiebreaker over Green Bay, I think at the worst they'll be as a 5, and that's if things fall apart and they don't end up winning the division. They'll be the top wild card. But that was a big win for them last night with the remaining schedule and the teams that they have to face.
That game could have not only changed the landscape of NFC, it could have changed the division altogether, because Packers win there. Now you're talking about Lions with 2 losses, Vikings 2 losses, Packers 1 game back with 3 losses. So it was one of those swing games that definitely gave Lions a boost, but it could have changed everything within that division to begin with.
Yeah. All right, you want to take a break?
Well,
come back with our picks?
Yeah, let's go ahead and knock this out for what's trending. Couple more clips here. Calvin Ridley plays for Titans now, and he's talking about going back to face his former team in Jags.
Calvin, when we talked to you right after you first signed here, Jacksonville was kind of one that you had circled on the schedule. Is that still kind of the case, and how excited are you to get to face off with your former team?
Yeah, I'm excited to play them. Just old teammates. I know some faces. I'm excited to play them.
Sounded like they were pretty competitive with their offer, Calvin. Was it a tough choice for you in the end, or how'd that go down?
Doesn't matter right now. I'm excited for this week. Jags coming here, play with my boys. I'm excited.
What do you think? Some of the guys that were on that team last year, what do you think they're feeling this coming in here after what happened last game last year?
I have no idea. I just know I'm going to be ready.
What did you think about the hit on Trevor? I know that's your guy.
I don't know if I've seen it.
The hit that he took Sunday?
I haven't seen it yet.
Knocked him out of the game. Aziz Al-Shire hit him as he was sliding.
I haven't seen it.
All right, and then finally we finish up with Jameis Winston, and he made a baseball reference about his play recently.
I'm not going to let a narrative of turnovers define who I am. I'm going to continue to step back up to the plate. That's a baseball reference. I was a great baseball player too. Keep on stepping back up to the plate and swinging for the fences. But man, I'm swinging to hit line drives. Sometimes when that home run, when it's right down the middle, it's high inside for me. You hit it out the park. But when you got a good pitcher that's staying low and away, man, you hit a line drive in the right center, and you live to fight or live to have another at bat.
I love the high road from Amari. He hadn't seen the hit. You think he hadn't seen the hit? That's been all over the place. Don't even want to talk about it. Probably the smart thing to do. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Joe and I will have our picks for the weekend. Got 10 games to choose from, championship games, NFL games. Short version, but a fun version of Out of Bounds. Stick around.
Walt Coleman on Morning Mayhem is brought to you by Kentucky Derby winner Sigma Supply with Mystic Dan, now a part of Brady Plus. If you're not using Sigma Supply, you got low-grade product, man.
This is Sports Center.
The Arkansas High School Football State Championships began last night with the 8-man championship. It was a strong showing for Strong as they beat Midland 66-14. Games continue later tonight with the 5A game between Parkview and Farmington with kickoff set for 7. Coverage for that game can be heard on the Buzz. Tomorrow's games will be the 6A championship between Shiloh Christian and Greenwood. Coverage for that game will start at 11:45 on 106.7 Buzz 2. Then the final high school game of the weekend will be Bentonville versus Bryant in the 7A championship at 6:30 on the Buzz. And Arkansas basketball takes on UT San Antonio tomorrow with tips set for 1 o'clock. The Roadrunners come into the matchup 3-4 on the season. The game can be watched on SEC Network Plus. Radio coverage can be heard on the Buzz. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Hello, this is Santa Claus. Come to find out after my pre-Christmas physical, my doctor here at the North Pole, boy, he's got cold hands, tells me I'm overweight. So if you want to treat me Christmas Eve, leave me a slice of Pettigene ham, or bacon, or both. You know, low carb, high protein. And it'd still be a treat because of that Pettigene hickory smoked flavor. Because after all, I know when you're sleeping, I know when you're awake, and then I know who bought Pettigene. For goodness sake.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Shelter agent Matt Warden in Little Rock, Seth Hobbs in Bryant, or Nick Gennardi in Sherwood.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text TIGER to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text TIGER to 321-321. That's TIGER to 321-321.
This Christmas, celebrate the place you call home and those who share it with you. From your biggest projects to the smallest details, Greenway has the perfect gift for every member of your family. Check out our Home for the Holidays deals on John Deere equipment, tools, workshop items, apparel, toys, and more. Going on now through Christmas. Check off everyone on your list today at your local Greenway or online at gogreenway.com.
This is Chris Roberts with Southern Bank. We want to thank those who have decided to trust us with their banking relationship. Our customers recognize that true community-style banking is more than words. It's local decisions and friendly staff you know by name. Whether it's personal checking or lending on the most complex commercial project, Southern Bank can handle your banking needs with a personal touch. So what's holding you back? To start your banking relationship, visit one of our friendly branches, call us at 501-424-0900, or visit online at bankwithsouthern.com. Member FDIC.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz.
Welcome back. It is Out of Bounds. Let me tell you about Gwatney Chevrolet. It's the year-end celebration. They just came off their big Black Friday sale, and it just continues to happen at Gwatney Chevrolet. James Street exit in Jacksonville. Silverado, huge selection of Silverados. Great rebates on those. Tahoes, Suburbans, up to $8,000 off. No payments for 3 months. Heck, they'll stretch it out to 4 months if you don't want to make a payment for the next 4 months. Great selection of quality cars, trucks, SUVs. Go to the website, GwatneyChevrolet.com. You can see all the inventory and see all the deals they have. How about a Trailblazer? A brand new Trailblazer. Your payment is $299 a month. That is outstanding. A brand new car, you can drive away, and your payment's $299 a month. It's all happening right now, year-end celebration, and they're still paying top dollar for quality cars, trucks, and SUVs that you trade in. they'll take the Kelly Blue Book and add $2,000 to it. They're going to make sure you get the best deal available for your trade-in. Go see our friends this weekend at Gwatney Chevrolet. Glad you're with us. Every Friday, Joe and I make our picks. Last week, Joe had the upper hand. You won by 2 last week, right, Joe?
Yeah, 8-2, and you were 6-4.
I need a comeback. We're getting towards the end of the season. I gotta get on a little hot streak. I need to do like Brian Edwards and Lee Sterling and get on a hot streak this weekend.
Now's the time to do it. We'll start with UNLV Boise State Mountain West Championship.
I'm going Boise State. I've watched them play several times just because of Genty. I love watching him play and watching him run the ball. I like, of course, the UNLV tie, the Jackson Woodard tie, but Boise State, I think, is the better team. I think Boise State wins and moves on to the college football playoff.
We're going to agree there. Both have Boise State winning that one. UNLV, they have a really exciting offense, and they kind of speed it up at times. And even with their quarterback change, they didn't miss a beat. So They do have the ability to score some points here and make it a good game, but ultimately think Boise State comes away with the win. Iowa State versus Arizona State, Big 12 championship. This is shapes up to be what could be a good game, and maybe some back and forth there. Two good teams trying to get to college football playoff also. I'm going Arizona State here. I think they're the hotter team overall.
Okay, we'll disagree on this one. I'll go Iowa State. I hear Acree may be listening, and I don't want him all ticked off at me for picking his team to lose. No, I think it's a great game. I saw where the buy-in ticket for this game is next to nothing. These fan bases are, it's not going to be one of those packed arenas for this one, but I think Iowa State will have the home field advantage. There'll be more of their fans there, so I'll go Iowa State.
Georgia, Texas, SEC championship.
If you can mute my mic for a second so nobody out there can hear me and only you, I'm going to take Texas. Okay, you can unmute my mic.
Well, you have to make a pick. I mean, either way, if you think Texas is going to win this game, that's the right pick. And I'm agreeing with you. I think Texas is going to win. Georgia, they've shown that they have a championship quality about them. And just when you think they're done, they're able to pull some of these games out. But I kind of have to stick to where I was thinking all along, that Texas was the best team in SEC. And they have a chance to prove it here with SEC championship game. So going Texas also.
Yep. Their defenses looked like a championship winning team the last few weeks.
Big Ten championship, Penn State, Oregon. Penn State, they've shown that they can win some of these tough games when they get in these situations, but it seems like anytime they're against one of these highly ranked opponents, they just come up short. And I think it's a case of that once again where Oregon goes on to win, Penn State comes up short again.
Yeah, I'll be honest, when I saw this line, I was surprised. I thought Oregon would be favored by a touchdown or more, 7.5, 8 points. And with it only being 3.5, I mean, I love Oregon giving up 3.5. I think they win this game outright, and it wouldn't surprise me if they win by 10 or more.
All right, Clemson, SMU, ACC championship.
Yeah, I'm torn on this one. I know Brian Edwards likes SMU and feels like they're playing the best football. It's the competition. And, look, they've been taking that competition and just rolling over that competition. I thought Clemson played South Carolina really well, and the only reason they lost that game is because South Carolina has an incredible quarterback that was just running around making plays, and SMU does too, but I don't know if he's as good as Lenore Sellers. Sellers put his team on his back and rode them to a victory or carried them to a victory. And I don't know if SMU can do that. I'm tempted to take Clemson, but I like Rhett Lashley and his team a lot too. This is really a 50-50 game for me. Maybe the most entertaining game for this weekend.
Could be.
Look at the line, and it's a close line. SMU's favored by 2.5. I'll probably end up taking I may push it up to 3 and take Clemson, the underdog, but I wouldn't take them on the money line. So I guess that tells me I need to go with SMU.
I'm going SMU also. SMU is the team that can score at will. And Clemson, they don't seem to be able to keep up in these type games this season, but you can't count them out.
Yeah.
I just think that SMU overall is the better team here.
Clemson's defense will have to show up to have a chance to win. They'll have to have a big performance.
Browns at Steelers. I'm going Steelers here to bounce back and get a win. Browns got the first one. Steelers get this one.
Yeah. Browns' offenses look great. I love the move to Jameis Winston. You know what? He'll make some plays, but he's also going to give the Steelers the ball too. I mean, he's liable just like last week. He could throw for 2 or 3 touchdowns, but he's going to throw for a couple of picks, and that Steelers defense will take advantage of it. I've got the Steelers too.
Seahawks at Cards. This is for NFC West division lead.
Yeah, Brian Edwards took the words out of my mouth. I think this is a must-win game for Arizona. They have been better at home. I've played them a couple of times at home. They know to have any shot, they got to win this game, and with their back up against the wall and being at home, I'm going with Arizona.
All right, Bills at Rams.
Whoa, who'd you take?
Yeah, I took. I'm taking Cards. I took Cards. Cards. Bills at Rams.
Bills may be playing the best of anybody in the NFL. And, yes, I saw Detroit last night, but Detroit's defense is struggling with the injuries. Bills or Philadelphia, they're playing great. Look, Rams at home, it's not a home field advantage. Buffalo's fans are going to travel, get the heck out of Buffalo and go to L.A. Are you kidding me? Yes, they'll be there. It'll be loud. I'm going Buffalo.
I'm going to go Bills also. I think Rams can get the win here, but I'm going Bills. They just seem to be hot right now. But Rams, they're trying to keep pace in that NFC West also.
Yeah.
And another team, NFC West, 49ers. They're hosting Bears this week. Bears have quite a bit of changes here with their coaching staff and their interim coach in Thomas Brown taking over. They haven't played since Thanksgiving, and now they're trying to get back on track. I'm going to go Bears to get the road win here.
Dang, you took my upset special. I'm going Bears too. I think the extra time off helps. I think they are – sometimes you get that – we saw it with the Saints earlier this year. You know, when you make a move at head coach, you promote somebody from within. He gives the team a quick spark. It may not last the rest of the season. But when you have a matchup like this with two teams that have been struggling, not a whole lot to play for, Bears aren't going to make the playoffs. I think the 49ers realize they're not going to make the playoffs. They're so beat up. I'll go with the Bears having a little bit more energy because they're changing head coaches and the extra time off.
And probably better clock management if it comes to that situation. We'll see what happens. Chargers, Chiefs, Sunday Night Football.
Oh, I didn't realize this was Sunday Night Football. Oh, I was ready to pull the trigger on the Chargers. Chiefs, they just keep finding a way to win. You know, block field goal, or last week a crazy play at the end of the game. The center snaps it when the quarterback's not ready. It's going to catch up with the Chiefs again, but man, with Buffalo right on their heels, they gotta be focused. Sunday Night Football at home, I can't do it. I'm going Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm going Chiefs also. Travis Kelce, he just steps his game up every time he sees that Chargers uniform across from him, especially when they get into these tight games and it comes down to the end, which it seems like it usually does with Chargers Chiefs. They go to Travis Kelce at the end, and he ends the game for them. Chiefs get the win.
we've officially been working long enough that we're reading each other's minds. I mean, I was about to text you to let's roll the open to what's trending, and you hit the button before I could even hit send. And now we picked 9 of 10 games together. We're just thinking on the same path.
Yep. That's how it's going today. And the show is rolling right along. We have a little time left when we come back.
Fun show? I can do these hour shows.
Absolutely.
In my sleep. All right, stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
The king of Arkansas sports talk, Randy Rainwater for Bet Saracen.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
I was happier than a Razorback fan at that final when I borrowed $25,000 for home improvements, and it took me less than 1 day with Telco Credit Union. If you've been putting off replacing your furnace, roof, or just an overall home refresh, this is your sign to run. Don't walk to my friends at Telco Credit Union. Call 501-375-5321 or visit telco.com today and tell them Coach Z sent you right from Bud Walton Arena.
Honda of North Little Rock is under new ownership. You owe it to yourself to come see the newly remodeled showroom as it's overflowing with new and used inventory of Honda and Yamaha ATVs and motorcycles. Don't miss out on the great deals. Meet the new owners and GM Al Hanmaker. That's Honda of North Little Rock, 4524 MacArthur Drive.
Not sure how much you know about Progressive Insurance. You may know us for insuring your home and auto. You may know a couple of our commercials. But what you may not know is that since 2013, Progressive has been honoring veterans with vehicle donations through the annual Keys to Progress Veteran Vehicle Giveaway Program, giving back to those who gave so much. Now, you probably didn't wake up today saying, I really wish I knew more about Progressive Insurance, but this seemed like the type of thing people wouldn't mind hearing about. Find out more about how we're dedicated to our customers and communities at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be-in-the-room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
This is David Dunn with Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. Did you know that we also offer mobile diagnostic service and repair? Equipment broke down? The check engine light on? We will come to you with the latest computer software and expert technicians to repair your truck on the spot. If it does need to come to our shop, we will arrange to pick it up. Let Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer take care of all your service and repair needs at your place or ours. That's 501-568-2185.
Hello, this is Justin Acree. If foot or ankle pain is slowing you down, it's time to visit the experts at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. Doctors Martin, Matthews, and Parham provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for foot and ankle issues. From common problems to more serious conditions, they're here to get you back on your feet, literally. Call Ortho at 501-686-TOSH to schedule your appointment today and get back to living pain-free. That's 501-686-8674. The doctor will see you now.
During this time of faith and family, may the true meaning of Christmas fill you with joy. A time for remembering the past and hoping for the future. Amidst the Christmas carols, eggnog, cookies, and mounds of presents, may your heart be filled with contentment and the unique feeling of joy that the season brings. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins. From everyone at Family Market, to you and your family, we hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Arkansas golf legend John Daly joins the guys every week on Morning Mayhem. John's visit each week is made possible by Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury today.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet, driving, trust every mile.
off of the porch or break up down. Get this.
Welcome back. It is Out of Bounds. I'm Wes Moore. He's Joe Franklin. I'm out at War Memorial Stadium. Joe, we are 3 hours, less than 3 hours away from kickoff between Farmington and Parkview. I look down there. Farmington's already here. They're already out on the field. Now, granted, they're in sweats, and a couple guys just have their helmet on, but they're out there, just kind of soaking it all in. I'm all for that. Get to play at War Memorial Stadium. How cool is that to be in high school playing here? But yeah, they're already here, out on the field, messing around, playing catch, and just kind of checking the place out. I don't see. Yeah, there are a couple guys with phones down there. But that game kicks off at 6:30. The pregame show starts right here on the Buzz at 6:15. And if you want to watch it, you can watch it on Arkansas PBS Sports. I'm going to move from radio to TV tonight for the call of the 5A game between Parkview and Farmington. Excited for that. And then tomorrow we got 2 more games. 6A championship, Greenwood and Shiloh Christian. That's a rematch from earlier this year where Greenwood went to Shiloh and got the victory. And then the 7A game, of course, Bryant and Bentonville. Bryant looking to get back on track after winning 5 straight titles. That run was ended last year, ironically, by Bentonville in the semifinals. So Bryant can not only get back and win a state championship, but they can get a little payback on Bentonville for ending their run last year. So,
now, it was a cold day today, but the sun was out. And so now with this next game coming up, the sun's going to be down, and it's going to get a little bit colder. And then have you looked ahead for tomorrow's forecast, see what it's going to be like for the games tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be sunny skies and a little bit warmer. We got lucky earlier in the week. There was a chance of rain on Saturday, but they've moved that out, and so not expecting any rain tomorrow. So it'll be a little warmer tomorrow. It was fine in the booth for me. I didn't get cold at all. Tripp was down on the sideline. He said it was cold down there, but I don't think the weather is playing any role in the game. Now, last night they were talking about all the fumbles and may have been an issue with slick balls. Sometimes you're playing in a championship game with footballs that are new and cold weather and hard as a rock. That could cause some issues. We had 1 fumble, I believe, today, a couple, but turnovers for the most part. There were a couple of interceptions, but I don't think the weather played an issue. I don't expect the weather to play an issue. Look, football guys, they like that. You got those pads on, you're running around. You'd rather it be cold than hot, that's for sure.
Yeah, not that it'll cause an issue, just that there are people that don't like playing in cold. Even though, football season, we know that it's going to be hot and then it's going to get cold. There are some players that they just don't like to play in cold weather, and at this time of the year, you're going for a championship. Is one game to determine your season, everything you've been playing for, the goal that's been there, the ultimate goal, and you have to be able to get it done, even if this is something you don't prefer.
I'll tell you that Parkview, this is their 3rd straight year to be in the state championship game. They played in a lot of cold weather games over the last 3 years, so they may be used to it. This is as far as Farmington's gone in a long time. But as magical of a season that they've been dealing with, heck, I see a couple guys down there in shorts right now, and they're in the shade where it's a lot cooler in the shade than there are just a couple of spots of turf in the sun right now because the sun's starting to go down a little bit and a lot of shade on the field. But
when you run around, you warm up, and I'm sure that may be the thinking for some of those guys, or maybe they just want to prove how tough they are and that the cold doesn't bother them.
This is cool. They're all lined up on the goal line as an entire group. And they stood there for a while, and now they're all walking as one long line down the field, arm in arm, just kind of as a team. Kind of, a unity-building exercise as the team walks down the field. They're now at the 30-yard line. Pretty cool thing. But, like I said earlier, just a great experience, and now it looks like they're maybe about to form a circle. No, they keep walking. They're at the 50. Maybe they're just walking the entire length of the field.
Now, you mentioned Farmington being there 3 hours early. That it does seem a little early compared to some of the other schools that are getting there. What's the typical range of when schools are getting there? How early?
Joe's asking me, guys, when does school usually get here? How early? 3? Is this about normal? 2-3 hours? Yeah, this is a little early, but not out of the norm.
No, you go this early to kind of walk it off.
Coach Withrow's saying they go this early just to kind of walk it off, get here, get a feel for the stadium. And they did. They walked arm in arm the entire 100 yards and got to the other goal line and stopped and broke up, and now they're kind of going their own direction to do something else. Pretty cool thing to see.
Yeah, what's up, Coach Withrow?
I don't know. You'd think Withrow would know by now on radio. If you want people to hear you got to put on the headset.
Oh, he's fine. You know what, though? We could actually – I could hear him clear, so I'm sure it came over clear on the air. We could hear him. That's that coach's voice. You can always hear it.
That's what I'm about to say. That's the coach's voice. It's loud and just echoes throughout the entire place. Heck, we don't even have to put on the headset for him. Look at him. Now he's fired up. As the music starts. Way to go, Coach. Great timing. We're done now.
That's the way it is. That's the way it's got to be, Joe. It's got to be timing.
Absolutely. Timing is everything.
30 seconds in. Joe, what are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to relax and watch some football. Just enjoy these championship games.
Cool. Me too. I'll be here tonight and tomorrow for these state championship games. Get to watch some of the conference championship games, and Sunday's a day of rest. Go to church and watch NFL all day. That's my plan.
That sounds like a great plan.
Joe, have a great weekend. That was a great hour. That
was
your best hour ever.
We need to do this more often.
Yeah. Well, y'all stick around. Drive Time Sports is next. A short drive time because we've got the 5A championship game coming up at 6:30. Pregame show at 6:15. Have a great weekend, everybody.